Hello, glamorous. Welcome to Mature Glamour, a space created for women who no longer accept emotional crumbs, silence disguised as mystery, or absence dressed up as indecision. Today, we're talking about something that hurts, confuses, destabilizes, and deeply shakes a woman's self-esteem. Ghosting. When someone disappears from your life without explanation. That isn't confusion. It isn't distraction. It isn't being too busy. And it certainly isn't something that happened by accident. It is a choice. And accepting that truth hurts. Because it shatters illusions. But at the same time, it sets you free. Because it gives you back control over your own story. Stay with me until the end, because this video isn't just about understanding why someone disappears. It's about you stopping the emotional self-punishment, stopping the self-doubt, stopping the search for faults in yourself, for actions that were never within your control. It's about emotional maturity without hardening the heart. There is a kind of pain that makes no noise. It doesn't explode into arguments. It doesn't end in dramatic confrontations. It doesn't come with raised voices. It's the pain of sudden absence. It's the silence where there was once connection. It's the person who said, "Good morning," asked how you were, made plans, built intimacy, and then suddenly disappears, as if you had never existed at all. This pain is especially cruel, because it offers no closure. It leaves gaps, and the human mind hates gaps. When there's no explanation, the brain tries to fill the void with theories, with assumptions, and almost always with self-criticism. You replay everything. The conversations, the messages, the voice notes, the dates. You analyze every detail, trying to find the exact moment where you supposedly went wrong. And slowly, quietly, that process erodes your self-esteem. You start questioning yourself too much, monitoring your emotions, feeling afraid of simply being who you are. And that is devastating. So, listen to this carefully, and repeat it until it truly sinks in. Ghosting does not happen because you weren't enough. Ghosting happens because someone doesn't know how to sustain presence, emotional responsibility, and real connection. Many mature, confident, intelligent, emotionally available women go through this, not because they are fragile, but because they are genuine. Ghosting doesn't target weak women. It happens when someone is confronted with emotional depth and doesn't have the inner structure to deal with it. Emotionally mature people don't disappear. They communicate. They explain. They end chapters with respect, even when it's uncomfortable, even when they may disappoint. Someone who vanishes without a word is revealing an emotional limitation, not a flaw in you. Still, the pain is real, because silence hurts. It awakens old insecurities, touches deep wounds, makes you question yourself. Was I too intense? Did I expect too much? Did I trust too much? Did I feel too deeply? But here's the truth. Feeling is not a flaw. Giving is not weakness. The problem was never that you felt. The problem is when only one person feels, and the other runs away. Silence is not mystery. Silence is a position. Those who want to be present, communicate. Those who care, don't disappear. Those with emotional maturity face difficult conversations. Avoiding them is also a choice. There are clear patterns in people who ghost, people who avoid conflict because they can't handle discomfort, people who enjoy attention and affection, but withdraw when they realize they'll have to give the same in return, people who build connection and then panic when things become real, and some who disappear deliberately, just to see if you'll chase, just to feed their own ego. None of this has anything to do with your worth. None of it defines who you are. It speaks only about the other person's emotional awareness, their fears, their immaturity. One of the biggest mistakes women make when faced with ghosting is trying to explain themselves to someone who chose silence. Long messages, emotional justifications, requests for clarity from someone who has already shown emotional unavailability. That doesn't bring answers. It doesn't bring closure. It doesn't bring peace. It only prolongs the pain and weakens self-esteem. Emotional elegance is knowing when to stop. It's recognizing that you don't insist where there is no reciprocity. Presence is not begged for. It is chosen. Mature glamour is knowing how to step back with dignity when someone disappears from your life. Stop romanticizing the disappearance. Don't turn absence into mystery. Don't invent excuses for disrespect. Don't try to rescue someone who clearly isn't willing to stay. Accepting reality as it is hurts, but it frees you. Don't take it personally. Their behavior speaks about their limitations, not your value. You did not lose worth because someone didn't know how to stay. Bring your focus back to yourself. When someone disappears, part of your energy stays stuck waiting for a message, an explanation, an apology. Bring that energy back to your body, your mind, your projects, your friendships, your real life. Self-esteem isn't built through external validation. It's built when you consciously choose yourself, even when someone rejects you in silence. With time, emotional maturity brings a gift: discernment. You start observing actions, not promises; consistency, not fleeting intensity; presence, not beautiful words. And you learn something essential. Clarity is the bare minimum. And yes, often the person who disappeared returns, as if nothing ever happened. Light messages, selective longing, superficial conversation. So remember this: someone who disappears once without explanation can disappear again. It's your choice whether you accept that pattern or choose safer, more emotionally responsible relationships. Not every chapter ends with a conversation. Some end with awareness. And awareness is also closure. You deserve reciprocity. You deserve clarity. You deserve presence. That isn't pride. It isn't coldness. It isn't hardness. It is self-respect. And self-respect is true glamour. If this video resonated with you, if you've experienced ghosting or silent emotional abandonment, write in the comments. Speaking heals. Sharing strengthens. Your story may be exactly what another woman needs today. Subscribe to Mature Glamour. Here, we don't romanticize absence. We choose presence. We choose clarity. We choose ourselves. With Glamour,